Massive changes are coming to Chrono Odyssey. Today we have get developer notes number 2 from Chrono Studio, developers of this game, and Kakao Games, publisher of this game. And these developer notes number 2 with many improvements and changes to the game are direct consequence of our feedback. Developers and publisher of this game, they have listened our feedback after beta test, and now we are getting necessary changes to the game. So let's dive into today's video. Let's see what is bringing future to this new upcoming MMORPG. Before we start, let me just say subscribe to my YouTube channel to see more of Chrono Odyssey videos in the future. I'm really excited about this new upcoming MMORPG. So on my YouTube channel, you will see lots of content in the future, guides for new players, PvP wise and PvE wise, dungeons, raids, life skills, crafting, everything what you need to know from World of Chrono Odyssey, you will find it here on my YouTube channel. So make sure to subscribe. Also, visit my live streams on Twitch. I'm live streaming daily, mandatory, no skipping. You'll find me on Twitch every day about 7 p.m. Central European Time. Visit me on Twitch. If you have any kind of questions regarding the game, I'll be glad to answer and also to keep you updated regarding everything what is happening in the world of Chrono Odyssey. But now let's focus on the main topic of this video. Let's check all the new improvements and changes which are coming to Chrono Odyssey. So I'll try to not make this like some kind of reading session because you can read for yourself. I want to include here my commentary and my analysis. So I want to give you most interesting and most important information regarding new changes and improvements. So developers of the game, they will address here combat system, content and open world, progression and gameplay flexibility. I'm curious about this one. Technical stability, definitely we need this to be addressed. Art, design and animation, UI and UX, balance, social features, in-game guidance. This is very important one, in-game guidance, definitely. Sound and narrative. Let's check what we have here regarding a combat system. Long recovery frames made it difficult to input new commands during ongoing animations. Certain motions remained unresponsive even after visual completion. Weapon swapping and other combat actions suffered from input buffering, resulting in delayed response. Okay, yes, I have noticed that in the game. That is true. Some content felt sluggish due to latency issues, and UI interactions lacked clear visual feedback, making it hard to confirm wherever an input was registered. Developers have in plan to adjust the interruption timing for movement, attack, and skill animations to improve responsiveness. So we have all feel that during the gameplay issues regarding responsiveness. Main issues during beta test were actually regarding performance of the game. Even if you had really good gaming PC, very good GPU, CPU, lots of working memory, we have seen lots of issues regarding frames. Drop in frame rates was very visible all the time, so they are going to address also this during these developer notes. The buffering window for inputs will be significantly reduced to prevent unintended actions from being triggered. Colors and effect across all interactions will be adjusted, and unified UI kit will be introduced to improve clarity and visual feedback. We need to talk about brightness. We are going to talk also about brightness later during these developer notes. Probably you have noticed that if you have played beta test, there were issues when we are talking about graphics. Graphic design of this game is actually really beautiful. However, problem was a lightning in many parts of the game very often, not during night, not during early morning in the game, in-game time. However, usually when we are playing the game, there are issues regarding too much bright surfaces and lighting. They need to address this definitely. A system-level feedback queue will be added when players attempt to cancel out non-interruptible action. To further improve input responsiveness, we'll be receiving client-server packet transmission and optimizing network performance. This is good. Okay, this is good. Definitely they need to work on this. Controller and keyboard and mouse experience. Let's check issues. The current UI was not specifically designed with either control scheme in mind, resulting in inconsistent and uncomfortable experience across both setups. Honestly, here I can play on PC. I didn't play this game using controller. However, for me, playing on PC, it was pretty much enjoyable experience. When I would need to complain about Chrono Odyssey, what developers should improve, change, fix, definitely I wouldn't complain about UI itself. I don't see any kind of problem regarding that. However, definitely any kind of improvement also in that field is welcome. Many in-game interactions were developed around controller input, making keyboard and mouse controls feel unintuitive. For me, keyboard and mouse controls felt pretty much intuitive. However, I am MMORPG player, so I can adjust pretty much fast to any kind of UI, any kind of environment. I can play, I will not say hundreds, but I can play really lots of games, probably hundreds of games in the last 10, 20 years. So for me, adjusting myself to new environment, to new UI, it's pretty fast. I can do it pretty fast. However, for some other players, maybe who are not playing games that much, maybe not MMORPGs, maybe this could be an issue. So I do understand this. Controller users experienced difficulties with range targeting and lacked access to the fine-tuned settings such as sensitivity adjustment, vibration, haptic feedback, accessibility options, and overall responsiveness. Our plan, okay, keyboard and mouse UX will be optimized specifically for keyboard and mouse environments. This is good, okay. Hold interactions, which are commonly used for controller inputs, will be minimized and removed. Controller UX will be optimized specifically for controller environments. So this is good. So they are going to separately optimize UX for keyboard and mouse and for controller. Universal improvements, UI navigation's depth will be minimized and essential functions will be reassigned to more accessible buttons. To support more personalized control experiences, custom key mapping options and various input settings such as sensitivity scaling and input inversion will be enhanced. This is good. So you need to be able to adjust basically every key bind, everything for controller and for keyboard and mouse, whatever you want regarding key binds for your keyboard, mouse and controller, whatever you want personally, subjectively, how do you like? This will be very important for many players. We will be improving the lock-on feature to reduce control inconsistencies during combat for a more seamless experience. Regarding lock-on, I agree totally. I totally agree on this. Lock-on is not working properly in the game. We could feel that during beta test. I have to be honest, I could try to play with lock-on and without lock-on. I was usually playing crossbow, longbow also in the game. Actually, I could play all the weapons and all the classes within previous beta. Nevertheless, a lock-on feature, you feel something is wrong with lock-on. So in the end, I can quit playing with lock-on. I can play without lock-on each weapon. They need to work on this definitely for people who want to play with lock-on. Skills will now consistently target locked-on enemies rather than firing based on the current camera direction. This is the change we need, definitely. This is very important, and yes, we have felt this during beta test. Let's go further with hit feedback issues. Monsters had excessively high stagger thresholds, resulting in a weak hit reactions and reduced sense of impact. Crowd control effects, CC effects, had extremely short durations, making it difficult to take advantage of said effects during combat. That is true, okay. It was often hard to measure the correct distance needed to land attacks. Our plan? Hit reactions will occur more frequently, and knockback effects will be added to make hits easier to recognize. So wait a second. Knockback effects will be added to make hits easier to recognize. This is good. This is very good. Enemy attack patterns will be adjusted to allow for varied player responses such as parrying, countering, blocking, and dodging, adding more depth to combat. The same reactive effects will be applied to enemy attacks, enhancing the sense of impact and increasing combat tension. Okay, guys, I like this. This is also a very good positive change. All enemy hit reactions will be reviewed to identify missing animations, which will be implemented as intended. Hit reaction behaviors will be standardized across monster types to support experience-based learning and improve clarity of encounters. Damage floaters and HP bar animations will be enhanced to make successful hits more noticeable. CC durations will be increased to 2 up to 4 seconds. Ooh, interesting change. CC durations will be increased to 2 up to 4 seconds, making successful crowd control effects more apparent and allowing more opportunities to follow-up attacks. This is a big change, okay, regarding CC crowd control. Damage feedback. Damage feedback often felt weak, reducing the sense of impact when taking hits. Incoming damage often went unnoticed when players were interacting with menus. Misaligned hitboxes and network latency caused outcomes that didn't match what was displayed on screen. Our plan, how to fix this: damage notifications will be improved to ensure players recognize incoming damage even while using the in-game menu. Enemy attack motions, visual effects, and hitboxes will be aligned to improve clarity. Client-server responses time will be optimized to minimize hits and damage timing delays. New hit reaction animations will be added based on the type of enemy attack, improving the visibility of effects like stagger and knockback. Sound and camera effects will be enhanced to improve the sense of impact, and baseline hit animations will be refined so that attack produce a consistent and noticeable visual reaction. Wow, this is a big plan regarding damage feedback. I mean, okay, this will require lots of adjustment. Let's go further. We have here skill synergies. Issues were during beta. Next, skill chaining felt difficult to execute due to lack of synergy between abilities. Passive skill enhancements were often more efficient, reducing incentive to use active skill combos. That is true. I have noticed that for many weapons and many classes. The skill system will be refined to support a wider range of playstyles even within the same class or weapon. Each weapon will support 4 distinct combat styles, allowing players to create builds based on their progression path. This will be interesting to see, so you are going to be able to adjust really a lot your combat style. This is good. Again, very positive change. Skill synergies will not be limited to a single weapon. Interesting. Skills across different weapons will link together, opening up various combinations. We'll be continuing to develop skill chaining and progression system over time, reinforcing a structure that's easy to grasp yet hard to master. Then we have here issues regarding skill descriptions and indicators. Some skill descriptions were too long and hard to understand. It was unclear which effects corresponded to each buff icon. I mean, for me at least, from my perspective, I didn't notice that regarding skill descriptions. Maybe for a longbow. A longbow had maybe to some point skill descriptions really long and maybe with a little bit higher complexity than for other weapons. However, that is only for longbow, only for bow as weapon. Other skills, honestly, yeah, I didn't have any issue to understand. But fine. Make it more understandable. It's totally fine. It was unclear which effects correspond to each buff icon. Buffs and debuffs had visibility issues, and it was hard to track their duration. Not really. I mean, at least not for me. I didn't have any issues tracking buffs and debuffs visibility, but if other players had, again, positive change to probably fix this, right? The Chronotector summon ability lacked in-game guidance. This definitely yes. So about Chronotector itself, it is one very important in-game feature of this game, and in-game guidance lack, yeah, I have noticed that. Not only regarding Chronotector, in generally, I feel that in the game there should be more in-game guidance. Maybe some kind of, description in written form, maybe some kind of animations or short video clips within the game explaining, something regarding different in-game features. Definitely, it should be improved, right? Our plan. These descriptions will be refined with videos. This is it. This is it. I wanted to talk about this. So, skill descriptions will be refined with videos added to active skills for better clarity, definitely, but also maybe short videos also for Chronotector to explain, and many other things in the game just to explain a little bit better different things. It's nice to discover, at least for me, it's nice to have that exploration element that you can discover some things for yourself, but definitely I did feel in Chrono Odyssey a little bit of, I will not say too much lack, but definitely lack of in-game guidance regarding different in-game systems, including regarding skills, chronotector, and many other in-game features. The HUD for buffs and debuffs will be redesigned to improve visibility with new effects added when buffs or debuffs are applied for better player awareness. Summon UI will be updated to display specter types, backstories, abilities, and enhancement details. Then we have here issues regarding class balance. All classes currently share similar roles, tank, healer, DPS, lacking distinct identity. Ranged classes are easier to play compared to melee classes. That is true. That is absolutely true. Even that I wouldn't exclude totally, maybe on start of your leveling process, maybe early game. But I can tell you later when you play more, for me at least, melee classes also felt pretty good. Maybe on the start of your journey, range classes feel a little bit better, easier to play, let's say it on that way. Nevertheless, later when you play the game, I cannot talk about mid-game or end-game. However, later I feel that melee classes are also pretty strong. I can play swordsman a lot and it felt also really strong as a melee class. At the start, of course, you can feel a little bit more power in ranger for a longbow, specifically more for crossbow. A crossbow feels overpowered, OP weapon really at the start. Nevertheless, later, melee classes are also doing fine. Monster AI does not pose a meaningful threat to range classes. That is true. I mean to ranger for now. We need to see what will happen with sorcerer in the future. There are significant balance discrepancies between free weapons available for each class. Monster AI will be improved to ensure monsters respond more effectively to range attacks. Introducing of the matrix system. So this is something entirely new. Matrix system never seen before in Chrono Odyssey. Skill tree nodes. The matrix will allow players to choose specific roles for each weapon, reinforcing combat style identity. Even when using the same weapon, players will be able to choose from 4 distinct styles based on progression path. Based on progression paths, the same skill may deliver a different combat experiences. With the introduction of matrix system, all classes will be re-evaluated for combat balance. This here, definitely big change for Chrono Odyssey, and this will actually give to each player more option to customize your gameplay style. According to the weapon and skills you have seen from this description, even if you use same weapon, same class, same weapon, you can go in totally different direction within this matrix system. This is good. More options to customize skills and weapons according to your gameplay style. I know that lots of players will like this. Weapon swap. Okay, what are the issues? Weapon swaps often felt delayed, occurring only after skill animations ended. Sometimes. I mean often. I wouldn't say that much often, but yes, sometimes yes. But in general, regarding weapon swapping, comparing to many other MMORPGs and games which I can play using the same system, here in Chrono Odyssey, weapon swapping actually felt really good. There was no issue regarding that. Okay, sometimes it felt delayed, but yeah, I don't think this would be like one of the main issues. But definitely, if they can improve further on this, it's a good change. Pressing the weapon swap key multiple times could cue several inputs, often causing the wrong weapon to be equipped. Yes, correct. Okay, that is accurate. I have felt that many times when playing these games, so this must be fixed. When swapping weapons during combat, it was often difficult to recognize which weapon was currently in use. Not really. I was able to clearly see, but okay, again, if some players had issues with this, fine. Our plan. Skill recovery times will be reduced to allow smoother weapon swaps during ongoing skill animations. The buffer window for weapon swaps will be shortened to less than 1 second so that swaps feel more responsive. The short cooldown will be applied to swaps, preventing unintended double swaps. This here is important because that double swap, yes, that happened to me many times, and this needs to be implemented. HUD design for equipped weapons will be enhanced to improve visibility during combat, and visual and HUD effects will be added to make transitions more noticeable. Good change, definitely. Again, good change. I didn't had too many issues with weapon swap. Sometimes, rarely, yes. Next, we have here balance, combat depth, and pacing. Combat patterns focus too heavily on dodging and attacking, making encounters feel simplistic and repetitive. All classes offer the similar combat experiences, weakening class identity and variety. Lack of proper hit and damage feedback make all encounters feel similar. Awkward enemy AI and animations disrupted during combat pacing and broke immersion. Let's check how they fix this issue. Our plan: enemy AI will be adjusted to react to player movement rather than solely following priority-based action sequences. Wind-up animations for enemy skills that inflicts knockback, stuns, and knockdowns will be improved to better signal danger and allow players to respond accordingly. The Matrix system will introduce various combat styles even for players using the same weapon. We have talked about that a minute ago. This is good. Throughout the Matrix system, players will be able to create and combine various builds that match their preference. This should resolve this issue. True. Another issue which developers have noticed is regarding enemy patterns. Combat difficulty felt unintentionally high due to unclear attack telegraphs, making it difficult to time dodges or attacks. How are they going to fix this? Monsters with subtle pre-attack motions will have more noticeable animations to make it easier for players to anticipate incoming attacks. So regarding that telegraphing incoming attacks, again, I didn't feel this issue that much, but again, it's not a bad change if they can work on that. I mean, if the monsters can telegraph on good way what is going to happen regarding incoming attacks, of course, it will be easier for you to dodge, block, parry, whatever, right? So, yeah. Field of view and sensitivity settings will be improved to give players a clear view of enemy movement. This is good. We need improvement regarding field of view. It's pretty decent right now as it is in the game. However, any kind of improvement regarding field of view is welcomed. Definitely, yes. This is good. Patterns with wide hitboxes or long tracking sequences will be adjusted, making it easier to dodge or block incoming attacks, and players will no longer be instantly defeated by bosses unless they are significantly under-leveled. Interesting change here. Let me repeat this. Players will no longer be instantly defeated by bosses unless they are significantly under-leveled. Good, positive change. What else we have here? Changes regarding camera movement and angles. Objects between the character and camera will turn transparent to maintain clear visibility. Camera movement will be smoothed out to reduce excessive screen shaking. Lock-on positions will be adjusted based on monster type to ensure camera angles are better suited for combat, and attack and skills will now directly target the locked-on enemy rather than following the camera-facing direction. This regarding camera, I could feel. Yeah, definitely also I could feel that issue. This is good, they will fix. Enemy AI and response time. Let's see what they are going to do regarding this. Monsters will now calculate target distance instantly rather than pausing before entering combat. Aggro detection range will be increased, okay? Enemy attack behavior will adjust depending on the player distance. Additional crowd control abilities will be added to diversify enemy patterns. In accordance with the changes above, enemies will have clear wind-up animations, and short players can respond appropriately. Monsters that get stuck in terrain will automatically reset their position. Next change is here regarding PVE. This is big one. This is big one. Let's check it out. I see they're mentioning here first Chrono Gate, solo party content, and others. Let's check this one. Players encountered sharp difficulty spikes when entering certain content too early. Okay, that I think they're referring here to the first Chrono Gate boss, but let's see. Lack of guidance on recommended levels or clear progression paths caused players to give up. Yes, I can understand that some players were giving up after encountering first Chrono Gate boss. They were thinking, I mean, what is happening? This is too hard, but they need to adjust this. Let's see what they will do. The game's non-linear design contributed to uneven difficulty jumps. Our plan: first Chrono Gate 1000-fold piercer. Players will now reach the first Chrono Gate around level 5 instead of level 3. Good. This is good. I mean, to be honest here, I don't think it's that much of issue. You need to be a little bit persistent, you know, and you need to realize this is not another generic MMORPG where everything is easy to accomplish. There should be some challenge. However, increasing this from level 3 to level 5 when you are countering first time piercer, this is good. Good change. I think this will make let's say, a little bit easier that first encounter with this first Chrono Gate boss. Additional progression paths will be introduced before entering the first Chrono Gate. Also good idea. I feel that you are meeting that first boss little bit, maybe just a little bit too early. Maybe there should be something to do, little bit questing, little bit exploring before entering that cave and going on, right, 1000-fold piercer. So definitely I believe this is a good change. There should be something to do, maybe questing, maybe exploring, something little bit to do before going on a piercer. Players will have option to enter the first Chrono Gate alongside NPC for a support. Oh, really? That's a big change. That's a big change. NPC for support. Solo party content. Solo and party content will have clearer rules and revised patterns. Solo content such as Chrono Gates, Labyrinths and Trials will be redesigned with deeper technical combat rather than fighting enemy mobs. Party content such as expeditions and time portals will feature varied missions, objectives that emphasize strategic role-based gameplay. Okay, good. Other core content will now include guidance for recommended party size, level range, and gear score. Very good change. Absolutely, again, massive change. We need more guidance regarding party size, level range, gear score. Definitely that needs to be more visible in the game. Then we are having here changes regarding UI and FX. HUD will be redesigned to improve visibility of skill cooldowns and resource indicators. Glow effect will be reduced and combat visuals will be refined to ensure character motions and more visible. This is important. This glow effect needs to be reduced. It was really bothering me. It was really shining in your eyes. This glow effect definitely needs to go away. And I think a game will be much more beautiful and more enjoyable with this reduction of glow effect. Players will now have option to adjust combat visuals. Nice. Duels. Okay, what is happening with duels? It was difficult to recognize duel zones due to lack of clear visual boundaries. Our plan, a visual barrier will be added to indicate boundaries of the duel zone. A warning notification will appear when a player nears the edge of the zone. A result pop-up will be added at the end of each duel. Good, okay. Any improvement regarding duel system is good. Then we have some changes here regarding content and open world. Regarding world, region structure, navigation, interactions, exploration rewards, local quests, dungeons, and open world content. These here developer notes are massive, and changes which are coming to the game are massive, guys. This feels like Chrono Odyssey 2.0. It feels like a new game, almost like a new game. Not totally new game, but you know what I mean. Content density and regional distinction. Low content density and lack of regional distinction led to underutilized areas and reduced immersion. We'll be increasing content density throughout the world and introducing new exploration elements such as themed caves and diverse exploration routes. Very nice. For everybody who likes to explore open world of this game, beautiful open world of this game. And I know that many of you who like to play MMORPGs are enjoying that exploration element. This is a great change. To help players navigate throughout the world more easy, we will be adding landmarks to complex or hard to navigate areas. Good. Gathering materials such as herbs and ores will have clear textures to make them easier to locate. Yes, I have noticed that in the game, it's not easy sometimes to recognize some herbs, objects on the ground to distinct from other gaming environments, something which you can collect, right? So this is a good change. We'll be adding scenic viewpoints that reveal breathtaking landscapes as players turn corners or reach elevated terrain. This is good. Viewpoints, we have seen that as scenic viewpoints in many other MMORPGs. However, this is a good feature. Definitely something what is lacking currently in Chrono Odyssey and what will make that exploration element more excitement when you know, right, reach some viewpoint and see beautiful world around you. Let's go further. What is this? Guidance elements will be added to travel paths to help players discover core content such as Chrono Gates. I mean, Chrono Gates, you need to find in beta test for yourself. Again, I'm not complaining about that because I really enjoy in that part of the gameplay where you need to discover something for yourself. However, I do agree that maybe, just maybe, some players will not find that exciting, you know, discovering things for themselves. So maybe Chrono Gates should be indicated on some better way that it's easier to find Chrono Gates. Bland and repetitive map design. I mean, honestly, I'm not sure that this game have bland and repetitive map design. I really like map design of this game, but let's check what they will improve on. Region-specific features such as swamps, misty forests, wildflower fields, and grasslands will be further enhanced to strengthen visual identity. Good, nothing wrong with that. That is good. A dynamic grass system will be implemented and the wind system will be improved to create immersive environmental interactions based on player movement. Good, positive change, but then again, this is not something I would complain about. I think regarding overall dark fantasy style of this game, regarding map design, I think that a game is looking pretty good, but okay, fine. A region structure, disjointed regional transitions and unintuitive pathing. Additional routes will be added to areas that require frequent backtracking. The in-return feature will receive improved guidance and visibility. Regarding in, I agree there should be some more guidance when you reach that first settlement that you need to register within the inn so you can return. I mean, it's nowhere actually clearly written that when you enter the settlement. It is when you enter the inn and then you interact with that NPC. It is written, if you register here, you can teleport back. But I still believe there should be more guidance regarding this in return, because this is something different than teleport system, which we also have in this game. And yeah, definitely this should be a little bit more improved regarding guidance. World map. Okay, a lack of terrain and altitude indicators made it difficult for players to navigate the world. Definitely. They need to work on this. So the compass provided the limited directional guidance, making it difficult for players to locate objectives even when nearby. Let's see what they will improve. I already have idea what they are going to improve. This is important. The compass will now include altitude indicators using up and down arrows to reflect the location of objective. Definitely they need to put this, because compass, which we have on the screen in the upper part of your screen, is fine. It's nothing bad, definitely fine. I like that. However, there must be this altitude indicator, because you can see on the compass direction of your target where you want to go, some area, maybe some objective. However, you cannot see where exactly is your target. You know, is it up or down? Yeah, this altitude indicator is a big improvement to the game. Areas will be visually differentiated so that players can better identify points of interest. What is point of interest? Point of interest is visually distinct area, such as striking structures, lights, or objects that catch player attention from a distance. These locations often lead to hidden rewards or special effects. This is good, okay? Explored and unexplored content will be clearly marked on the world map to help track exploration progress. Another big change. Definitely positive change. This will be enhancing the quest tracker to provide better guidance. However, for certain quests, guidance will only extend to general area to encourage exploration. So this is not easy job for developers of the game to determine what is the limit between this encouraging exploration and between how much they want to lead you regarding this quest tracker to some direction. Because I believe there should be some measure of exploration that you can do for yourself. I don't think that everything should be provided for you like, hey, you need to go directly here and that's it. You don't have that feeling, excitement of exploring the world around you. Nevertheless, yes, in some cases, there should be some quest trackers indicated on better way that you have a feeling where you're actually going. Players will be able to place additional custom markers and use a new MMO feature to track important locations or mark resource collection points. Inconsistencies between terrain and the world map will be corrected. Next here is POI exploration. POI often lacked meaningful content or rewards, which led to disappointing experience. We'll be introducing hidden caves, narrative encounters, and gathering opportunities to a point of interest to make exploration more rewarding. Traversable and non-traversable terrains. It was difficult to distinguish climbable terrain due to lack of visual cues. Players often wasted time attempting to climb non-traversable terrain. That happened to me a lot. So you want to climb somewhere, but it's not clear to you, can you actually climb here or travel here or not? However, now they will change it in next. Non-traversable terrain will now feature distinct visual elements such as rocks and cliffs at least twice the height of the player that clearly indicates areas that cannot be climbed. Good. So you don't need to waste your time in trying to do something which is actually not possible at all. Gathering feedback. It was difficult to tell if gathering was successful due to lack of clear visual feedback. Gathering effects were too plain, making overall process tedious. Maybe a little bit too plain. Yes, maybe a little bit. Again, not something which I would complain. I don't mind that much, but definitely if they can improve this, why not? Gathering animations, effects, and sound will be enhanced to make the process more rewarding. Okay, great. Visuals and sound effects for material disappearance upon successful gathering will be enhanced. Interaction improvements. Interactive elements could only be triggered from specific positions, hindering gameplay experience. We'll be enhancing interaction responsiveness and methods to deliver a more intuitive and immersive experience. Let's go further. This is a reward value, exploration rewards. Exploration lacked meaningful ties to core content, which led to weaker sense of purpose. Rewards were not compelling enough, making exploration feels inefficient and less engaging. Not for me. Not for me at least. I can really enjoy in exploring beautiful open world of this game, and basically whatever you are doing when exploring open world, sometimes you encounter different dungeons, different content to play, sometimes you do gathering for crafting. I feel actually that it's pretty much rewarding. However, if they can improve on this, great, let's check it out. New dynamic quests and chain quests will be introduced, unlocked exclusively throughout exploring specific areas. Hidden rewards will be added to straighten the purpose of exploration, and rare achievements and titles exclusive to exploration will be introduced. Great. This is great idea because I know that many of you who like to play MMORPGs, you really enjoy in these exploration elements, so why not to get rewarded even more with achievements, titles, and rewards in general. Great idea, absolutely. Next here is content engagement and rewards. The progression structure will be redefined to ensure players can progress throughout a variety of content, including world exploration. Already now, when I play Chrono Odyssey, I have a feeling that you can still improve your character, power of your character, and progress even without following main storyline quest, which you will do anyway. However, even if you go exploring, I still feel that you are progressing somewhere. So I don't think, again, this is some big issue. Definitely not in this game. For many other MMORPGs, I will not name them now, that is issue. However, not here in Chrono Odyssey. However, if they can improve in this further, absolutely, I encourage this. We need more of this world exploration. Usually, world exploration is very weak part of infrastructure for many MMORPGs. Older games, new games, many MMORPGs are very weak in this point. Chrono Odyssey is already very strong on this point. I like what they have. If they can improve further, great. Each type of content will feature distinct progression mechanics designed to boost motivation and encourage participation. Local quests, a repetitive quest structure. I mean, I don't know, is it repetitive, really? It doesn't feel for me repetitive. Quest was feeling pretty good, but a local quest felt overly repetitive, making the overall gameplay experience less engaging. I didn't get that feeling, but if you did, many players from beta maybe did. Okay, fine. Beyond the main quest line, we are adding meaningful events tailored to each region, along with quests that feature unique, memorable characters. We are also reworking certain quests so that players' choices influence how they progress and conclude, aiming to create a more varied and dynamic experience. Quest rewards. Rewards for local quests were underwhelming, making players less motivated to engage with them. Fine, if they want to make better rewards, nothing wrong with that. I will not complain. It's even better, right? Better for us. To improve overall value of questing, we are planning to boost the value of local quest rewards. We'll be adding lore-related items, rare materials. This is good for crafting, maybe, okay. And equipment that directly contribute to character growth. This is good. Okay, good change. Definitely good change. You can disregard what I just said 1 minute ago. Let's let them do this. Let them do this. It's good. There will also be exclusive accomplishments, titles, skins, and other collectibles that can only be earned throughout local quests. Ooh, this is good. So exclusive accomplishments, titles, and skins. Players will like this. Exclusive skins can be earned throughout local quests. Great, great. Players will be able to choose from a pool of rewards upon completing the quest. This will allow players to select what best fits their playstyle and preferences. Again, good idea. So if you have, for example, you can pick between some skin or maybe some enhancement stone or maybe some material for crafting. There should be a pool of rewards and you can pick one reward. If you like more customizing your character, maybe skin. If you like maybe to progress regarding PvP more, strength of your character, maybe you'll pick some enchantment stone or maybe part of the gear or maybe something else. Yeah, so this is good. Absolutely, there should be choice regarding what reward you want to get. One-dimensional dungeon structure. The current dungeon experience leans too heavily on combat wherever in solo or party play. While solo dungeons receive positive feedback, the overall experience still lacked depth and polish. I mean, anything regarding polishing solo dungeons, any kind of dungeon structure is a good change here. Open world content, large-scale combat visibility. There were difficulties understanding what was happening on screen during large-scale battles. During field boss fights in particular, skill effects were often cause major visibility issues. I didn't feel that too much, but okay, if they can improve on this. Reward and loot notification. Field bosses will now drop unique boss-specific gear. Really? Making them feel more meaningful and worth the challenge. Absolutely. So, this game have many field bosses. Beautiful open world with many field bosses. And to add this boss-specific gear, this will give additional motivation to players to go on these field bosses, to run them, to attack them, and get this. This is so good. Very nice. Players who contribute to the fight will also see clear visual and audio feedback when receiving rewards, improving the overall sense of progression. This I can notice. So, after you participate in some boss fight, mini-boss, boss in open world, it's very often that I didn't see, did I actually get reward or not? Did I get anything? Did I drop anything? I didn't see. So there should be more clear visual and audio feedback. Like, hey, yeah, you have something on the ground to pick up, right? Because it was not clear for me in many occasions when you see lots of people around you, right? When we were encountering some field boss, did I get anything or not? Yeah, they need to improve this. Progression and gameplay freedom. Stats and progression, gear enhancements and crafting system, gear and skill presets, gathering and crafting. Let's see what is the problem here. Regarding stat effect, the lack of clear explanations for each stat led to confusion about their actual impact. Okay, if they can improve in this, definitely fine. Progression curve. I'm curious about this. The experience curve beyond level 10 made the leveling feel unnecessarily slow. After the second Chrono Gate, many players weren't sure how to progress or where to head next. So, regarding this, experience curve after level 10, leveling should be hard. Leveling should be hard, not too easy. I mean, unnecessarily slow. Maybe a little bit, but I feel good about this slow. Honestly, I have seen so many new MMORPGs, I will not name them now, having leveling fast. Don't do that. Developers from Chrono Studio, if you are watching this video, publisher Kakao Games, don't make leveling fast. Make it slow. Make it challenging. Not too hard, but not too easy. That is something very unique for Chrono Odyssey. You should keep leveling slow and hard. Again, not too hard, but then challenging. Yes, because most of the new upcoming MMORPGs, they're just trying to get you to endgame. That is not good. Most of the new upcoming MMORPGs have leveling too fast. No, Chrono Odyssey should be a unique game. Keep leveling slow and challenging. This year, after the second Chrono Gate, many players weren't sure how to progress or where to head next. Okay, I agree on this. Regarding direction of your progression, definitely there should be more guidance regarding this. We'll be significantly reducing the experience cost after level 10 to smooth out the progression flow. In my opinion, no need. Just leave it like this. But fine. Okay. Following the second Chrono Gate, new guides will help players stay on track and engage. This you need. Definitely this you need. Repetitive farming. I mean, this is MMORPG. There has to be farming to some point. Grinding, farming, there should be here. Farming and grinding shouldn't be repetitive. But then again, if it's not repetitive, is it really a farming or grinding? I mean, definition of grinding and farming is repetitive. One of the words, right? It's very hard how to make farming or grinding not repetitive. How to do that? I mean, even many other new MMORPGs, even older MMORPGs are struggling with these issues. How to make farming not repetitive? Is that even possible? Let's see what developers will do regarding this. We are planning to increase incentives to explore open world, encouraging players to challenge themselves with a wide range of content. Oh, I see. So that you're not doing the same content all the time, that you're doing actually wider range of content. Players will be able to obtain unique gear in the open world that includes additional passive effects. This is so good. This will offer new goals and motivation for gear farming. So not that only you have one gear of one part of the sets, one set of the gear, maybe you want to get more sets of gear, maybe parts of the gear with different passive effects. Great. Beyond gear, rewards like elixir chests, chronotector enhancement points, and matrix points will be also attainable throughout open world activities. Great idea. We are also introducing alternative path where players can trade in a set of amount of collected materials for a specific item of their choice. Oh, this is interesting. Another very interesting sentence here. So that players can trade in a set amount of collected materials for a specific item of their choice. Guys, so many changes. This is insane. I mean, this really feels like a brand new game. This feels like Chrono Odyssey 2.0. It feels like a brand new game with main infrastructure still remain the same, of course, but so many changes, improvements, fixes. Incredible, really. Lots of work for Chrono Studio, definitely. They have a lot of work ahead of them. And then we have here gear utilization. Due to constraints of the closed beta test, players didn't have many opportunities to experiment with different gear setups. Some gear felt underwhelming or lacked a clear purpose. We are working to make stats increase feel more impactful for diversifying builds and highlight each one of the strengths. So this video already now is lasting 1 hour, so I'm going a little bit faster throughout this, what they are going to do. This is regarding enhancement system and motivation. Okay, so let's check further. This video already now will, I see, last about 1 hour. So I don't want to turn this, like I said, in reading session. I want to give you most important information. Further, we are getting improvements regarding enhancement system and motivation. Crafting interface is getting improved. To better explain the benefits of higher crafting levels, we are adding dedicated page or interface section that breaks down their effects. Oh, this is good. A new bookmark feature will let players track required materials for specific items, making it easier to follow the crafting process step by step. We are also improving the interface so it prioritizes recipes relevant to the player class and level, improving overall usability. Gear and skill presets. We are introducing gear and skill presets, allowing players to quickly switch between different playstyles. This is so good. This change definitely we need. This is massive change also coming, guys. Already for closed beta test too. That would be great, but we'll see. Crafting value. The gear crafting UI will be updated to better reflect potential outcomes. Both the UI and visual effects for gathering and crafting will now reflect character progression and new life skills. We are also improving gathering animations and related visuals for more satisfying experience. Technical stability. This was the main issue of the game during beta test. I mean, don't get me wrong, all of these changes which I have talked about, which we have seen within developer notes so far, are very important and good for the game. However, this here, they need to improve on this. So they need to fix bugs, they need to improve performance, and they need to work on world optimization. When they fix this, we are fine. We are fine. We are more than fine. This was main issue. This was the main issue of many players during beta test. Let's see what they will do regarding this. Frame drops and input delay. Yes, they need to work on this. We are conducting a full review of background loading process, especially those triggered during combat, to reduce frame drops. Do that. Because I have played the game on 4070 Ti GPU with 32 gigabytes of working memory and pretty decent CPU, and I still had issues regarding frame drops, so definitely. Number of skill effects spawned will be adjusted to improve performance during combat. We are also analyzing and optimizing tasks that are delayed within each frame to improve consistency of timing and server-side procession. To reduce network-related delays, smaller zones and certain types of combat content will be migrated to dedicated servers for more stable performance. They need to fix this. Effect performance issues. Transition to GPU-based parallel processing. So this is here very technical terminology. I will not dive into this too deeply, but if they can improve in this, simplify and optimize shader structure, implement a distance-based level of detail, LOD, Optimize effect textures, definitely this is great. Stuttering, yes, they need to also improve this. We are optimizing server transitions to improve performance when crossing areas. Client-side spawn logic will be refined during synchronization phases to streamline world resources loading. Map data will be optimized and transferred more efficient during area transitions to minimize frame drops. We are also optimizing world resources to reduce interruptions while moving between areas. Definitely they need to work on that. Art, design, and animations. UI design. The current UI feels generic and lack identity, coming across too similar to other games. We are revamping the UI with distinct patterns, color palettes. This is important. UI, I already said that during the video. For me, it's not that bad. Actually, it's not that bad. However, there should be something a little bit more regarding color palettes. There should be something additional regarding more color palettes on the UI. Overall looking and specifically regarding skills, definitely. Movement, they're going to improve movement. Guys, this is just insane how many changes. Here we have some changes regarding UI and UX. Menu structure, quest. I'm curious about quest navigation. Here we go. Quest navigation, quest markers. Quest markers select visibility and accuracy, making it difficult for players to track and progress throughout quest. Definitely. Compass, which you have on the upper part of your screen, fine. However, we need better indication regarding quest markers. The color scheme of quest markers will be adjusted to improve visibility. All active quests will now have their markers displayed on the world map for easier navigation. Amazing. Amazing. We need this definitely. Tutorial. Many players have difficulty understanding game systems and content. I already mentioned that during the video. Early game guides that appeared as pop-ups could be viewed again later. The tutorial will be improved to provide clear guidance, especially during the early stages of the game. We need this. We need more of in-game guidance in general. Further, here we have changes regarding balance for gold, loot value. Then we have improvements for social features, party and communication, party system and social UI, party UI notifications, chat window. Okay, this is good. In-game guides, need this. Definitely we need this, more of this. And improvements regarding sound, updates for BGM, and improvement regarding narrative. Okay, narrative is a storyline, and narrative is very important for many players, and that will be it. Actually, guys, this is impressive. I have to say this is impressive. Overall conclusion, this is a massive change coming to Chrono Odyssey. This feels overall almost like another game. I will not say another game, like a new game, like 2.0 version of the game. Obviously, structure of the game will still remain the same, main structure of the game, but overall looking, these changes are incredible. Without any doubt, when they implement all of these changes in the game, Chrono Odyssey will be a much better game. What is important? Developers of this game, Chrono Studio, and publisher of this game, Kakao Games, they have listened our feedback. You can see that in front of me. Changes are coming, and let's hope that soon, during closed beta test 2, we'll be able to enjoy in all of these changes, or maybe at least in huge part of these changes. Maybe they will not implement everything already for closed beta test 2, but maybe for launch of the game, for sure. So let's hope that we are going to get closed beta test 2. For today, you are fully updated regarding massive changes which are coming to Chrono Odyssey. We should be optimistic, stay hyped, stay positive. I still believe that this game have a huge potential. Core structure of this game is really incredible. This is one real MMORPG, PvP-wise and PvE-wise, with lots of content to play. So let's hope that we are going to be able to enjoy very soon in closed beta test 2. And after that in a release of the game, or maybe in some other testing phases. That remains to be seen. If you are interested into Chrono Odyssey, make sure to check my YouTube channel. I'm preparing lots of content regarding this new upcoming MMORPG. Everything what you need to know from World of Chrono Odyssey, you'll find it here on my YouTube channel. Also, make sure to visit my live streams on Twitch. I'm live streaming every single day, mandatory, no skipping. Visit me on Twitch every day about 7 p.m. Central European Time. If you have any kind of questions regarding the game, I'll be glad to answer, and also to keep you updated regarding everything what is happening in World of Chrono Odyssey. Thank you for watching the video. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Twitch, and see you soon with another Chrono Odyssey video.